All right. Well, welcome to Intuitive You on Oneness Talk Radio. We are so happy you're here this morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And today I have one of my best girlfriends on the entire planet, and she is also one of the most intuitive people I know. She has trained with me and taken this information like above and beyond. She has applied it to her business, her personal life. She has just soared. So I wanted to bring her on because I love her, and she's just an example of being intuitive, really taking the action, having the courage. And something really special about her is she has an incredible positive mindset. I have never met somebody who is better at teaching and living positive mindset. And for those of you that have been following me for a while, I talk about intention marrying intuition. And intention is the mindset I'm talking about. With your intuition is like ultimate success. So that's who we have with us this morning, this amazing woman named Alyssa Williamson. And she is from where I used to live in Eugene, Oregon. So she's like in another little state than me, but she's absolutely radiating her light there. And we're just so happy to have her on. So Alyssa, if you want to just formally introduce yourself, and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Abby. Thanks for that wonderful introduction. And I love always when we get to interact and get to hang out, and your light is so amazing too. So I appreciate that we get to just bounce off of each other. So I am actually a couple things. I put myself as business coach and consultant, but I'm an intuitive success coach. I'm a business and mindset coach. And then I also do marketing and branding consulting as well. So I help business owners in all areas, but really what I love is connecting other women to their intuition and business owners to their intuition while also changing their mindset to change their life. Mm-hmm. So really what I do is I help others create ease and flow and synchronicity, because synchronicity is when those magical things just start happening. And that's what you get when you listen to your intuition, is the magic comes together. So I help my clients create synchronicity in their lives, because why wouldn't you want to just have magical things happen every day, ones that you also intentionally manifest, but then ones that surprise you and that are just awesome and bring about things you couldn't even imagine, but are your wildest dreams?
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I absolutely love about you, Alyssa, is, when you first met me, you just knew. And I'm really convinced with everybody, we all have intuition. And so it was like, you literally came up to me, your intuition had this knowing, and it was like, hey, I want to work with you. It was a knowing. And so if you can talk a little bit about really speaking to that part within us all that just knows, right? So that intuition is like, it is the guide, but to recognize it within us and to lean in towards it. And then what's so bold and beautiful about you is you take action. You're like, I know it, let's do this, and then it just keeps like snowballing into a great momentum of really great intuitive choices that have led you to amazing results,
Mm-hmm. And part of my journey is the fact that my mom's really intuitive too. I've been very intuitive, but I spent years ignoring my intuition and being like, oh, I should do this. No, my mind would take over, and I would let it be like, no, you have to keep working. Like you just push through, just make it happen. Like it was like pushing the boulder up a hill. So I think that was part of my lesson too, is learning, okay, actually listen to your intuition and it makes your life easier. So I had to be the headstrong one who didn't listen for the longest time and had all these challenges because I ignored my intuition. And it's interesting because I've had a couple, I call them quarter life crises. And I think it was when my intuition was like, you're not listening. This is going to happen no matter what. And so I bought my Mustang like that. Started business coaching with that. So it's almost like my intuition's like, okay, I'm giving you a chance, giving you all the chances. You know what? You're not listening. Just make this happen. You need to do this now. And so it's been a fun process. I say I became a business coach because I got more connected to my intuition, and because through the intuitive coaching program, the success and ease and joy that I had in my life, I was like, I built my dream life. Okay, I went from being the stressed out, working in the Bay Area, working in the tech world, being a web designer, work with my life. And I really didn't have anything else I make money. It's easy. I help people, and I still get free time. And I was like, I have to help people. And that was sort of like where I was like, I need to be a business coach. Like I need to help people get out of the hole that I used to be in, because I know what it's like and I used to be there. And it's really, listening to your intuition, And the way I feel it is I just have a knowing, like I just get a sense of yes or no. Or if I hear something that rings true, I get a tingle down like my neck and shoulders and spine. And I know everyone hears their intuition differently, but it's knowing how you know your intuition too, and knowing how it's talking to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we'll talk about that a little bit more about tuning into how your intuition is speaking to you. And one thing that I just want to highlight about you is, as a business coach, it's fascinating. You've made so much money, right? So it's not so much about making the money, it's the wholeness of your life. It's the joy, the personal relationships, like the wholeness. And so to me, that is why intuitive success coaching is so important, is it's the soul embodied. It's not just one area. Yeah, you get great results. You absolutely can make way more money, but it's like to have all of your life working for you and the embodiment of the love that you are, and using that intuition is like, it's like an inner compass. It's this discernment of, you can feel your inner yes is like an expansion or your no is a contraction, right? So it's kind of like that compass. I'm going to lean here and then away from here, right? And then it just gives you the guidance to then have that experience of, like you said, the joy and the fulfillment. So yeah, it sounds like, maybe suffering or feeling pain led you to saying, okay, let me try something different, so.
Yeah. And that's what I want to help other people not go through that same pain. If I can help them and they learn from my experiences.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, if you're experiencing like that headwind, like you feel like you're going against the flow, like I invite you to just like drop in, and what I mean by that is like, move your awareness into your heart, feel our love, feel the interconnectedness of life through your heart. Start seeing through the eyes of love. Like I often will put like sunglasses on, and be like, can you see like through the eyes of love? You literally can like see that way. Right. And then you're bringing it into your knowing that you talked about, that gut feeling. And when you settle in, again, you're feeling, okay, it's like the least resistance, right? Like, where do I go? And then you're in the flow. And so you have your intention, which maybe is to grow your business, to attract your soulmate or deepen your partnership. Whatever that is, you have your intention. So you're properly using your mind, right? You're saying, hey, we're getting from point A to point B. And now intuition activate, like as my guidance to like, take me there. It's like going from San Diego to Las Vegas. It's point A to point B. It's like what your goal is point A to point B. Did you want to add something on that list?
And enjoying the journey too. So part of it is, and I guess what I say is, like, another way to say what I do is I teach my clients how to manifest. And it's not just, even though I'm a business coach, it's not just about the money. It is, as you said, it's about the whole lifestyle. Like, do you have freedom in your life? Do you have flexibility? Do you have time to just be and be calm and travel or adventure, whatever it is that freedom and flexibility mean to you? And so part of that is, yes, getting your inner guidance from your intuition, connecting, being in alignment. And there are a few ways to do that too. Like I talk about staying in a positive emotion, knowing your emotions. And if you're in a negative state, naming it and then how to get out of that. But also the other side of it is faith, absolute faith and trust that what you want to create and knowing that it is going to happen. And that can be through your intuition, or that can just be through your trust in the universe that what you think of and what you dream of is going to come to you. And that's the hardest part, when everything you see doesn't match up what you know you want to have. That can be the hardest challenge, but it's just creating that faith and trust that, okay, it's not here yet, but the perfect timing is going to happen and I'm going to get it. Like, it's coming to me. And that can be whether it's business, dream clients, your soulmate, like whatever, travel, whatever it is, but you have to have that intuition and that faith that it is coming. And then the visual, or the dreams, or the emotions.
I love that. So well said, Liz. And I remember you calling me one time and you're like, everything's just working for me. I just know it's all working for me. And I was like, what a great affirmation. Like, how can you live on that? You can't. Like, that's a win-win affirmation.
Yeah. And just knowing, like, the other, I don't know if I've always had a positive mindset or I've stilled it, but I like to reinforce the positive mindset. And one of those things that I told myself is, whatever happened was the best that could have happened. So even if something seemed really awful, I'm like, there could have been worse things. Like, that happened for me. And that was the best thing that happened, that could have been of the possible situation. So yeah, I just trust that it worked out. and I got what I needed, and I'm still alive and still moving forward.
Totally. And FYI, like after you told me that, I think it was probably like, I don't know, 2 hours or 2 days later, like very shortly after, you're like, Abby, I met my guy. And I was like, all right, we knew he wasn't Ben. We just weren't sure we're okay. You got it. And it's just like, that is the power of you living it. That's what I mean by your life is an example of like, hey, I trust this with my knowing. I think this with my mind, my intuition, my positive mindset, and I manifest reality, the reality I want. And so like true story, you know, and another example was you're like, hey, Abby, what do you think about this house? And I'm like, yes. And you're like, yes. And now you have like an investment property, right? I mean, big decisions that create huge results because you trust and you have that mindset, you know, the best is working out for me. And it does.
And I wait for the inspiration too. Is this another part of being a type A go-getter is we want to just like push and we want to just make it happen. And so listening, slowing down, listening to my intuition, I've learned to wait for the inspiration and then take action. And these headphones do not want to stay in. And so that's another piece of it is creating the space that you can stop and listen to your intuition to take action. And then when you have that inspiration, then take action and move forward.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you do that? Because it's like, I feel like it is easy to just kind of get wrapped up and just like the hamster wheel, just go, 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 go. Do you have some suggestions of how people can take the time, give themselves permission to take the time, to slow down and just be present and listen?
Oh, one part of it is I know from experience myself, but also seeing it with my clients too, is the hardest thing for entrepreneurs to do is to stop and to make space. Sometimes it's to make space for coaching and to get that help. And sometimes it's to make space to slow down and stop because you're so busy. You've got so many things to do. You're like, how am I supposed to take a break? And it's reprogramming. Like you have to reprogram your subconscious, but first you start with your mind and then you move into subconscious. So first you have to like, I hate to say this, but logically tell yourself like, I get more done when I take breaks and actually stop and experiment that. And like try it out. When you're stressed out and you're like, oh my gosh, I've got so many things to do. I can't stop. Take a break, take a 5-minute break, go breathe, go out into nature. And it's going to be the hardest thing to do in the beginning, but you have to break that habit of the more I do, the more I push, the more rewarded I get. Like you have to reprogram yourself that when you take breaks, that's when you get rewarded. That's when you get the inspiration. And until you stop, you're not going to like, you have to stop and do it. And, you know, sometimes it's setting the timer and like, be like, okay, once a day, start with once a day. If you're not taking lunch breaks, start with once a day, take a lunch break. Then move on to maybe a mid-morning and a mid-afternoon break and just set a timer, go for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, go up to 15 minutes if you can. There's all different like time blocks that people can do. Like you work in 90-minute time blocks and then take a 5-minute break. You take shorter time blocks. So it's first stopping. And so if you've already started stopping and making space, next step is making sure you're grounded too. Well, I have a full morning routine that takes an hour that I just get grounded, meditation, journaling. And it's really all about slowing down, using this time to slow down, because when you slow down, your mind stops and then you can start to connect to your heart and your intuition. Otherwise, you're really in fight or flight mode. When you're stressed out, you're in fight or flight mode, which means you can't connect to people. So you can't make decisions. You don't have creativity. So the more stressed out you are, the more counterproductive it is. You're not connecting with the people you want to connect with. You're not doing the creative work you want to be doing. You're not connected to your intuition. Your brain is just trying to survive. So it's getting out of fight or flight and calming down. So it really comes down to calm down, whether it's breathing, meditation, going for a walk, changing your environment, moving, do some yoga stretches, move your body.
Yeah, I love that. So well said, Liz. And, you know, from an energetic perspective, the reason that works is you're moving into a state of beingness. So if you think about even intellectually and how you explained it, like, you know, you being in an energy of like frantic fear, it's like electric, right? Versus stopping, being present, taking the space to have that break, your being is then peaceful and loving and can connect with the world around you, right? And so that creates the results. So it also, being intuitive just makes sense. And
Yeah.
actually makes sense. And you're one of those clients that we have talked about, like, hey, like, take a break, and then you like start manifesting, because I'm just
Yeah.
like, slow down, because you've already like ramped up this huge like roller coaster momentum of you're like going to the moon and back, but like, just take a break to receive it, and then more comes. It's kind of like it. I also think it does a reset when you're in that state of beingness, and you can actually receive your good, and like you said, you can enjoy what you've created, and you're just more available. Like, people, even now, you can feel people like leaning towards us, because it's like it's a connection. It feels good. It's not, oh my God, she's so busy, she doesn't have time for me, right? It's
Yeah.
available. You know?
Well, and I notice I communicate differently when I'm stressed out too, versus like if I'm writing a client an email, when I'm stressed out, I'm just trying to get it done as quickly as possible. There's a different energy that I'm sending out to them too. It comes up in your marketing. If you're rushing through your marketing, your energy is different. You're not welcoming people in. You're just trying to force it out to get it done as a task. And the heart behind what you do, everything we do has a vibration attached to it, and magnetic energy. And so how you do anything is what you're pulling back into your life too, in that state. So if you're pushing it out in frantic energy, it's going to come back in frantic energy. If you push it out in calm and love and peace and joy, you get more of that. And I know one of the things, like when I talk about it, I'm like, oh, this sounds so Pollyanna-ish, which you want it to be, but that doesn't mean that bad things don't happen or other things don't happen. Everyone has their own vibration. Someone else could have attracted something into your life, pulled you into their life because of something they did. Or it could be a past thought or belief you had is circling back around and showing up now. Maybe something you were doing 3 months ago or 6 months ago is coming into your life. Doesn't mean you haven't made progress. It just means that, okay, this is something you get to work through.
Mm-hmm.
And as you were saying, like, it was a very difficult stage. And I was like, everything is working out in my favor. Like, the universe is rearranging itself for my best interest right now. And it was a difficult time. And I just focused every moment. I was like, what am I grateful for in this moment? How can I just find gratitude and peace? Like, and I would have a grateful moment, and then my stomach would drop again, and then I'd have to go look for another grateful moment. And one time I just sat in the car and meditated for like 30 minutes. I was like, I got time. I'm just going to sit and meditate and like calm myself down, because I knew I needed to. And then a couple days later, I found my dream guy. So,
Yeah, you were receptive, right? You're open.
yeah.
You had the right mindset. You followed your intuition, and you were receptive.
And we knew it was coming. We just didn't know the timing. So I knew I would find my guy in Bend. I didn't know when, but I was like, hey, I'm going to go take a vacation there. I'm going to go hang out there. And just so happens we didn't even meet up on that day, but we connected online. And so it was like, I took the action. I felt the inspiration. I felt in my intuition. I was like, someone is waiting for me in Bend, which is about 2.5 hours from where I live. And I was like, I want to move there. I want to like just make any possibilities available. So I took action. I took a like a half-week vacation there or something. I was like, I just need to get to Bend. Everything will work itself out. And it did, because I trusted that it would. I didn't know anything was going to happen that weekend, but I just knew I need to do this, and here's the action I'm going to take to implement that.
Yeah. And I think for everybody listening, it's like, what do you know you need to do that you haven't done yet, but you just need to do it? Mm-hmm. So I just really invite you to lean into that, and at that perfect time, do it. That's your intuition calling to you, answer it. It's guiding you to like your dream, to what you want, like Alyssa, like, all right, like we know he's in Bend. Okay, let's get there. And fascinatingly enough, like you met him online, but I believe it was getting to Bend that started to put you in energetic alignment with receiving it. You're closer, you feel it. And then
I think the physical proximity triggered something in the algorithms. Here's a little buddy.
Hi, your little ferret. Which one is that?
This is Tubbs.
Tubbs. Yeah, they're so funny. Like during sessions, they always come because they like feel the vibes, I swear. And it's like that, right? It's like people feel your vibes. They're like drawn to even animals. Yeah, totally.
How they just show up, and you don't know how great something will be until it happens. You can be like, I expect the best, but then the universe surprises you and it's better.
Wow.
So I like to believe that the universe is positive and everything's going to work out in my favor when I believe it. why would I want to attract negative into my life? Why would I want to attract bad situations? Like, the universe is there for me. And so sometimes that's a mindset too, is I've had to help clients change from a negative mindset to a positive mindset. And that can be a process and a habit too. And one of that is gratitude. I can't talk enough. I read the research all the time about how important gratitude is, whether in psychology, neuroscience, metaphysics, like all areas.
Wow.
So it's amazing. Yeah. The more we learn,
Yeah.
the more it's being reinforced in different areas.
Yeah, totally. I love that. I love that. Yeah, I notice that too. When I'm just in a state of gratitude, there's an ease and you realize how much you have too. It's like, you don't want to take things for granted if you don't like be aware of everything amazing in front of you right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And appreciating it, because then appreciation attracts what?
You're running around.
He just turned my screen off.
Oh, we can see you.
Okay, good.
You're good. You're good. The universe got you.
Yeah.
We're good. That's so fun. Little mischievous guys.
Yes. Spirits, of course, when I'm doing a show, that's when they suddenly wake up and decide to run around.
I know. I feel it. They feel the vibe every time. I watch it every time.
High energy.
Totally. Yeah.
Sorry, what did I say? What was I saying?
I don't know. I just kind of got involved in your ferrets too. Just gratitude, and really realizing everything that you have from that place of gratitude. It makes you, and it makes right. So it basically raises your vibration when you're in that place of gratitude. What?
I mean, this is a perfect example. What was he doing? He really liked the light. He fried his whiskers on the light.
Did he really?
Yes. And okay, so this is just a small situation, but I'm like, okay, what can I be grateful for in this moment? Okay, he's excited, he's interested. he's creating a ruckus, but how can I in this moment? So that's with any person. Like, maybe you got kids and sometimes they act up, or maybe you just have a bad day with a client or something. Like, just how can you find the positive or the lesson? Like, how did it happen for you and not to you?
Right.
And sometimes it can be hard in others, and sometimes you're like, I have no idea. But it's in everything I do. So I've created the habits.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that.
Create a habit of listening to your intuition too. Like, check in the morning, like make it a game. I think we've talked about this before. Just maybe like it's little decisions. Should I eat this? Should I eat that? Like, check with your intuition if you want.
Totally. And your intuition is very much body based, right? So it's like, you mentioned the word grounding. So to connect in with your intuition, it really is those steps of bringing your awareness into your heart and your gut and just sitting in your body, right? And just feeling like, intuition, when it's a yes, it's peaceful, and when it's a no, it can feel chaotic or like not quite right, so it's a simple answer. But yeah, as I say that, as we talk about just dropping into intuition, I feel like I really would like to focus also on, your mindset of like, what, like you're kind of telling us some of the things you tell yourself, but how you coach your clients more into like that mindset piece, and like if there's a course you have on that, like I feel like to kind of positively charge your mind, like I see a battery, it's like positively charge your mind, it can your heart, right? And then your intuition. So I feel like it's so valuable, and that's something you do so well. So I'm wondering if there's anything else that like you want to share about how people can use their mind in the positive way to have it work for them,
You definitely. And your mind, so there's two ways to look at that. Your mind is so powerful, but your mind is also your conscious mind, and it's your subconscious that really runs everything. But your conscious mind likes to think that it has control. And so that's where you can go crazy in your mind. You can like too many thoughts cycling around, get stuck in a loop. And whatever you're feeding yourself, you also, your subconscious believes as well. And so it's building these habits that you're getting back into your body first, because your body is your connection to your subconscious. That's where you get the messages through that as well. And so it can be like I was talking about earlier, like learning how to calm down and learning to ground. Sometimes breathing too, changing your breath, just doing, there's like box breathing. I look at, so the ways I work with my clients are three areas. It's intuition and mindset. it's high performance habits, and then it's business strategy and marketing. So first we create the foundation of connecting to your intuition, strengthening your mindset, and then what are the habits? What do high performers do? What do the most successful people do? And how can you make that a habit? Because I want your habits to create your success. I want your success to be inevitable because your daily habits just build up to that. And so I help my clients with those habits as well. And so it's a few things. It's really getting clear on your goals and what you want to work towards too, because then you can use that as your why, your inspiration, your passion to pull you forward. Because you maybe get bogged down and you're like, why am I checking emails? Or why am I doing all this marketing? Or why am I doing this or that? And you're like, oh yeah, this is my bigger picture. When I do this, I get like, it helps me help more people, or it helps me do this, or because this is what I enjoy.
Yeah.
And so using your conscious mind to reinforce what you want subconsciously, I guess, is the way to look at it. So making meditation a habit, doing that daily, making movement a habit, because once it becomes a habit, you don't think about it. My best analogy is, okay, when you say you've been working out for a while and then you stop, suddenly every day you have to make the decision, oh, am I going to work out today? Am I not? Oh, I'm so tired. I don't want to go. So you've turned that into a decision. Whereas when your habit becomes, I work out every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Like you're like, oh, it's Monday evening, time to go to the gym. Like you don't even make a decision anymore. And that's what I help my clients create, because there's decision fatigue. There's only so many decisions you can make in a day too. It's like a muscle. And so the more decisions you make, the more exhausted you are. By the end of the day, that's why you make bad decisions. That's why you eat more junk food at the end of the day than the beginning of the day. So don't spend your morning making the decisions. Don't decide every day what you're going to eat. Like spend 5 minutes trying to decide what to eat. Like pick out your clothes the night beforehand, or just have a simple outfit so you're not spending all your energy on meaningless decisions, really. Like do it the night beforehand if it's really important, or save your energy and do the most important business decisions in the morning, or life decisions in the morning. And so then you're not trying to make important decisions at the end of the day. So do your meditation, get your grounding, do it first thing in the morning before other activities start to come into your life. And because once you have breakfast, this is going to happen and that's going to happen, and then you're never going to do anything. So make time beforehand, or make your morning when you do your marketing or your most powerful business decisions, and make that happen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why I wake up at like 6 every morning. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
By like 8:30, I'm like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. I love that. Yeah, there was something coming through, but I forgot. So I'm like,
sorry.
No, it's great. No, I just loved what you're saying, and it made me think of something, but I'm really integrating what you said. I mean, it really is our decisions, they pave the way, right? Literally. So when you're connected to your intuition as that compass pointing you in that, right direction that serves your highest, things click into alignment. There is that synchronicity. And that's what it was, working with the subconscious. So I realized why we have jobs, Alyssa. Like, it's so important to have coaches and people that can help you shift your subconscious beliefs to be positive, because, the way I learned it and experienced it and help a lot of people with is that subconscious is like 80% of you. And that goes up to your superconscious, which is your higher self. It's like that intuition, that the part that's infinitely connected, right? So when you have 80% of you in positive vibration, your subconscious matching with the energy of your soul, that infinite part of you, you manifest like that. And so that's why it's key to, have a coach or work with yourself in meditation. Or, my experience is coaching really helps because we can help pinpoint what's the block, where there was I consider a block a negative, some experience that was hurtful or disconnected you from love. So it's always a thought that's connected with emotion becomes a belief. And so those blocks can be like stopping the flow of our good happening, right? So when you clear the block and you actually have a new positive belief that supports you, then you can not only hear your intuition, you can take action on it, and you can manifest huge. So that's why it was just such a great reminder to remember, oh yeah, it's like we're really releasing those emotional blocks, and sometimes physical or mental or whatever it is, that is stopping the innate good. Because I agree, the universe is designed to support us. Like, it's love. Love, yeah. So cool. Do you have any ways that you help people like break through their blocks, like specifically in like 5 minutes of like something they can do other than booking an intro session with you, which we can do at the end, but like something that comes to mind to kind of release and shift to those subconscious positive?
I think, and I know it's repetition, but it's the simplest things that actually make the biggest difference. And it comes down to always do gratitude every single day, whether it's, there's different times that work for different people. Find what works for you at the end of the day before you're going to bed or lying in bed. I do it while I go for a little walk right before bed. And so I'm just thinking of all the things I'm grateful for beforehand, because it just puts you in a more positive state. You go to sleep in a more positive state. When you sleep, you're problem solving, you're connecting, you're asking questions. But really, just what can you do to stay positive? When you notice a negative emotion, just pay more attention to your emotions. When you notice a negative emotion, name it.
Yeah.
And then the act of naming it puts you back. So when maybe you're frustrated or you're angry, you can look and go, oh, I'm feeling this way. Name it. It helps you get out of your, it's like your mammal brain back into your thinking brain. So there's benefits to your thinking brain too. It's not that it always doesn't help you. Getting back into your thinking logical side. Okay, this is my emotion. This is how I'm feeling. And then be like, thank you for noticing. Like, thank yourself. Like, again, gratitude. It comes back in so many ways. Thank you. Thank you, Alyssa, for noticing you're really frustrated right now. Okay. We've named it. Can we take a break? And then take that break. So I think the number one thing you do is notice your emotions, control them, and stay in a positive state. If you did nothing else, that will help you the most through your life. And sometimes it sounds so simple, but that's how the universe works. Like, you're magnetizing positive. Next step, you want to get focused and choose what you're attracting, but just try and just stay in the positive. Stop overthinking things. Like, when your brain's going crazy, and I know I've been there too, where my brain just thinks the same thought, same loop, but just try and get off the loop a little bit, and then you're going to come back, and then you're going to get off, and eventually you're going to get away from there, but you're going to circle around. It's a process of circling around. Every time you improve, you meet a new challenge, and then you improve some more, and then you meet a different challenge. And so, like, it's an ongoing process. And that's where coaching, as you mentioned, coaching is great. That's why Olympic athletes, they're the top of their field and they get coaches, because they know to push to the next level, they need that outside support and guidance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I just go back to shifting those subconscious beliefs, right? Because it's like, first you learn how to drive a car consciously, and then it goes on automatic. Well, if you have all these great positive beliefs in the back of your mind, subconsciously running the show, you're going to have a great life. So just clear beliefs and change your life and have the life you want. Yeah.
And that's the simplest way. And a large part of what I help with clients, because I've got a curriculum, and so clients can do a self-study if they're not ready for full-on coaching, and then I have a group program and then a private program. And the curriculum itself is so helpful, but it's being there and reinforcing. And sometimes, like, they'll talk through, and I'll have them say, focus on your wins too. So that's another piece, focus on your wins. And so my clients I'm like, what's your win this week? And they're talking, and they're like, oh, I didn't really have a win this week. This happened and that happened. And this is really good. And that was really good. And I'm like, so that's your win. And they're like, oh yeah, I did have a win. So it's having that outside person too. Like, sometimes you're just so focused on your own world that you need that outside perspective.
Man,
or someone to talk it through with.
Yeah, I just got to share this. So I just got off. I was working with a client this morning, and we were actually reframing something she was considering a failure. And I was like, what on the earth? She actually had 6 people sign up for her program, wrote her entire program, and she was looking at it like a failure. And I'm like, what on the earth? I'm like, first of all, failure is not an option. Second of all, that is like, can you please see it through the eyes of success? Because that's huge. So like, my invitation is, how can you see it yourself through the eyes of success? Because most likely you're being hard on yourself if you're not, because there's something you're learning and growing from it. And I'm excited to hear more about your curriculum. I know some of it, but I want to hear more about how you can help listeners like really dive into it. Because, when you see yourself in the way that you really are, which is successful, which is loving, which is kind, all these beautiful qualities of your soul, it's so much easier to magnetize what you want. Like you're talking about, I love that. Staying in the high positive vibration, like so key, just highlighting that right now. Like, wow, okay, if I feel negative, name it. Okay, take a break. Now what can I do to move into a positive state? And then that just creates that flow of goodness. So yeah, is there anything you want to add about like seeing yourself as a success and stepping into greater success?
Oh, well, I guess in the sense of like visualization too, that's my one of my other favorite things, affirmations of visualizations, but feeling it. So you have to be clear on what you really want. And that can be also a challenge. Some people don't know that, and they don't know what they really want.
Yeah.
And that can be something I've had to work through with clients as well, is that challenge of what do they really want? What's that clarity look like? But when you have a clear picture of who or what you want to be and what you want to call into your life, then feel it now. Feel it in your subconscious, because that will attract. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between reality and your mind. So if you think of something and make it happen in your mind, you're going to attract that too. Your subconscious is going to think that's your reality.
Yeah.
And so that's another piece of it, is of the high performance habits, is really living that future now. It's part of neuroscience too, or just how to maximize your life and make the universe work for you. Visualize it and live it now. Create that reality and experience it now, because then you're attracting it to you sooner. It's like another magnet pulling into your life.
Yeah, you're so right. I mean, the subconscious literally does not know the difference between it's real and not real. And so when you start programming it in the sense that you're deciding that's what you want, you actually one day find yourself living it. You actually, have trained your subconscious that it's already done. And then you're like, oh my God, I'm living my dream life. And you actually feel the physicality of, oh, yeah, I do have this business or relationship or whatever that I love. So it might sound silly, but it works. And it's like, yeah, science now proves it, right? And that's the thing about intuition, is like, it just knows, like I don't really read the science. I just find later people tell me the facts, but I'm like, I already know that my intuition knows. And then I'm like, the science comes and I'm like, sweet, like that's some nice feedback, to back that up. So it's just fun. Yeah.
It's personal proof. Like once you start, it sounds a little crazy at first. And then once you start living it, you're like, oh, this works. And that's what I tell clients too, is like, if you haven't experienced it before, listen to other people's stories and here's how it's worked for them. Listen to successful people. Everyone is successful. One of the people I follow, Brendan Burchard, like visualized himself for years speaking on the stage in front of thousands and thousands of people. Like that was his visualization. It got him amped up every morning. I'll visualize and get super amped up and excited. And that gives me all this energy to like get a whole bunch of productive things done towards that goal.
Yeah.
Right off.
Yeah. I love it.
And so it's all these just little pieces. It's the simple things, bringing them together, and then doing the most important things every day too. There's not everything's fun and glamorous. I don't know. I really enjoy visualizations. I mean, I could do that all day long, but you need to take action as well.
Yeah. I think you mentioned something really key, is it's trust, right? So like, think about all the times that you have followed your intuition, whether you are aware of it or not. If you just kind of like look back a little bit and be like, oh, when did I follow my intuition? And I wasn't sure why I did that, but I knew it felt right and I did. And it worked out really amazing. So I just invite everybody to listen to that part of you that knows, and look at all the times that you actually have trusted your intuition. And it's like a muscle, it just builds, right? Well, I trusted then, I know I can trust it now. And now what else do I want to create, because I trust so much, right?
And it builds your trust in that too. Like you're seeing proof, and then it becomes a cycle of proof too. And that's another point, is what you look for is what you're going to see. Your brain gets so much information. The reticular activating system. So what you're looking for, your brain will pick out. So most common example I hear is, hey, you're looking for a new car. You see a Subaru. You're looking at a Subaru. Suddenly you see Subarus everywhere, because your brain is like, oh, this is important to me now. So now it's going to notice all of them. Whereas before, you never noticed any of them. You're like, why did everyone suddenly buy Subarus? I didn't see them before. Or BMW or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that's how your brain works. So you can use that in anything. If you're looking for signs of how the universe is supporting you, or if you're looking for, oh, look, my intuition taught me that or told me that, like the more you look for it, the more you're going to see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so look for the positive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I love it. Well, there's one thing that I wanted to mention, Alyssa. I love what you share about visualizing and, seeing what you want and having the positive mindset that is like, yeah, this is what I'm doing, and actually manifesting it. The other thing, and I invite all of you to visit lifeforceconnection.com to go deeper into your intuition to develop it. There's a free download at the top. Actually, Alyssa created this website. She's so good at websites. So you'll probably love the site, but you can get that intuitive activation. And I'm saying this is when you start opening up, so we do 7 main activation points. When you open your third eye, you can actually start seeing, a vision can come to you. And as you start seeing, your intuition shows you what's next. And the reason underneath this that I'm telling you is, for me, when I was, I think, a junior in high school, I was getting visions. So different than just visualizing, which is so wonderful. Do that. Also open up your intuition and see what your inner vision has to show you. I was seeing these images of children that had darker skin, and I was working with them, like my hands were next to theirs. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And it was like, it felt like I had a center and we were just working together like a wellness center. And so I wrote an essay about it. And I wrote how I was like changing the world with my love, built this wellness center, was with these kids. And that essay got me a scholarship to college. And my particular path is I didn't like college. So I left within the first 6 months and started a company. But fast forward over later, something that Alyssa has been instrumental in is that a nonprofit where I started traveling, working with kids and being hand in hand with them, helping them have resources to be able to eat, to have beautiful homes, to teach the same intuitive education so they could succeed in their life. And that organization is called One Heart Global. And we're on a mission in the next 6 months to actually help 21 kids in Ecuador keep their building. So we were successful the last, was it 3 or 4 months? They needed to keep that building. We're able to help them do that. And now they need even more support in the next 6 months. So I invite everybody to go to oneheart.co/mission. And we also have another partner in the nonprofit. Her name's Michelle. She's in Australia, and they just raised some money there, and we're hoping to have her on Intuitive You too. But I just really I want to open you to your intuition to see if you feel called to support us and the kids and what your own intuition is telling you. So when you're open and receptive to being activated to this higher purpose, like your soul purpose is beyond you, it's through you. So there's no way I could have ever done this alone. Oh my goodness. Like even last week, I'm like, I got to get this like gift up here now. Could you please help me? Like it's through us. Like the life force energy, your intuition, your purpose is going to be through you. So as you're acting your intuition, having this positive mindset, you're going to be moved to be a greater contributor to humanity. And that will naturally give you the fulfillment. I promise you, because there's no amount of money. It helps, but the true fulfillment is going to be in helping because we're all interconnected. So again, I invite you to visit oneheartglobal.co. And if you need a website, Alyssa's amazing. And also she's such an amazing coach, as you can tell. She's somebody that I respect because I truly believe, greatest integrity is that we walk what we talk, right? We live it. And so there's nothing I will tell somebody that I haven't done. It's like, I can't tell you to follow your intuition unless I'm following mine, right? So I just know that from that place of authenticity and connection, we can truly create lives we love. And the one last thing I want to say is I love what you said, Alyssa, that like, maybe it hasn't happened yet, right? Like it's there, like to have the faith that you're good, the full manifestation is coming to you. Whether you have it all now or not, it's there for you. So keep walking forward and taking that next step. So Alyssa, is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah. Well, talking about One Heart, well, one thing was you've actually visited the orphanage too. So you've gone and seen them in person. And that's always a nice little one connection, but two, to see how the money is being used and see that there really was a need there, and that they were about to lose their building, which then the orphans would be homeless. But that's what I love too, is that we will be in October, we'll be doing Love Your Life. It's a 1 month coaching program. And it teaches this very stuff, how to connect to your intuition, how to manifest your dreams. Like it's sort of like an intro to coaching, but it's a foundation. I think it's a foundation to coaching. So you can just do the 1 month and be good, or you can do the 1 month and then see what you're ready for next, what opens up. And a lot of clients have had great wins just from 1 month of coaching with us through that. But the coolest thing is that 50% of the profits go to the orphanage. So we're doing it to help raise funds for the orphanage and also connect with intuition. So I really I like it. It's really, it's about loving your life and creating that life. And whether you're used to manifesting or used to your intuition or new to it, like it just helps streamline everything. It helps tighten up and it helps create that. So that's why I like that we've created this program together too. Did I lose you?
Yeah. My screen keeps freezing. I'm not sure if it's happening to everybody else's, but would you mind just sharing what you just said about the Live Your Life coaching? Because I am not sure if people are able to hear it. I'm so sorry. My screen just froze.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's freezing. Yeah. So yeah, we're doing the Love Your Life coaching, which is something we've done in the past, and it's to raise fund for the orphanage. But really, it's like a foundation to coaching. It's creating that connection to your intuition, how to manifesting your dreams, and taking that action. So it's really grounding you, connecting you to intuition, and then helping you take that next step. And it's 1 month, and 50% of it goes to helping the orphanage. But I've had clients that have done just that and seen great results, and then come back a couple months later because they just are like, I want more of that. And others that are like, we got such great results from that, we're good for now. And like, or there's ones that are like, okay, we need to do more of this, like supercharge my life. And that's where I have clients that like within 3 months of coaching, she'd manifested her 5-year goal. And another one has had her year-end goal tripled her year-end goal halfway through the year. Wow. So it's like when you do these things, magic happens, and you don't know what to expect. You just have to trust and follow the steps. And that's where, yeah, we both live this. I only teach what I've learned and experienced and what has helped me too.
Yeah, totally. The other thing I love about it is it's groups. So it's like a community, right? So we're like vibing off each other and having fun. Like the curriculum works, it's proven. And then we just get to like hang out and interact and have fun and like share the experiences and the positive stuff and clear the blocks. And yeah, and like obviously it ripples, it helps you and it helps the kids and it helps us because we love you and it's fun. So it's really great. So yeah.
Well, and that's what I like too, is as we're working through other people's stuff, we can apply it to ourselves. And sometimes that conversation, like you're just looping around and you're like, oh, and they're like, I'm experiencing this. And we're like, okay, here's how you do it. And in the process, even though we're experienced at this, we get to go through it again. And we're like, oh, that helped too. So no matter how many times you do it, like you don't stop meditating because you had a good day one day, you keep doing it. You don't stop exercising. Yeah. Like it's these habits that you build and they add to your life.
Right. Totally. 100%. How can people sign up for that? Do we have a link on the site? I don't remember.
We do. It's the universallanguageoflove.com/love-your-life.
Awesome.
Or you can go to, the universallanguageoflove.com/love-your-life with dashes in between.
Nice. So universallanguageoflove-love-your-life.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I have to visualize it.
I know. I was like, I got to see a picture. That's so awesome. That's cool. And then where can people do, if they want to do like individual coaching with you, can you share with us a little bit more about your training programs that I know you've developed since you've done the course? Because you just went and took it. It was just so amazing and made it your own. And there's a very special, unique process that you have for your clients. So I know you work one-on-one with them through the process and also group. So can you share a little bit more about that and how people can sign up if they feel called to work with you?
Yeah, so it's AlyssaWilliamson.com. So my name, Alyssa, Alyssa, Williamson, WILLIAMSON.com. And I've got a couple things on there. So with coaching, I have a 6-month curriculum and a 12-month, because you can't just do a month of coaching and then expect all your habits to change. And I'm about the mindset shift. So I do belief work with you, one-on-one. We do like theta healing, NLP. I utilize different techniques for whatever best suits the situation. Tapping as well. And so individual, you all get the curriculum. Individual, we work once a week for an hour and just work through whatever's coming up for you. We can work through the curriculum together, like however I can best help you. I then have small group coaching programs, because there is the community there. It's about 4 to 5 people max. So I just keep opening up new group programs. And so I've got 2 new group programs that I'm currently accepting the waiting list for. And that, again, you're working either 6 or 12 months. And then there's a self-study course. If you're like, you know what, I want to do this, but I'm not familiar with coaching, or I'm not quite ready for that next step. It is available as an option too. I always find that you're going to get the most value working with me directly, but there is so much value in the curriculum too, that I know that you'll get a result out of there too. And it works through, connecting to your intuition, these habits. And I sort of go again in a cycle, because it's creating those habits and changing your mindset. Really, I'm about changing your belief, changing your mindset. Because when you go from maybe not believing you're worth getting paid, like to changing that mindset to I am worthy and I'm abundant and I deserve all this abundance, like that changes your life too. So it can be a lot of those underlying beliefs that are holding you back.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of work on finding what's holding you back and then removing those blockages so that you can move forward even faster.
So awesome. And love your life as you're doing it. It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, and then I also have a free guide on my website. If you're like, you know what, let's just check this out first. And it's how to live a life of adventure, how to make more money, work less, and live a life of adventure, whatever that means to you. And just sort of the basics of that.
That's awesome.
So that's another free guide.
I love that. And Alyssa, they can follow you on Instagram too, right? Under Live Your Life Adventure?
Yeah, live your life _adventure.
Okay. Very cool. Wow. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's such a pleasure to have you here.
And I know whatever we talked about inspired someone. And that's what I love, is when we get together and just be that inspiration, because we've lived it. But also, I want you to change your life, and I want you to experience ease and flow and synchronicity, because that's just magical. And then when you live that way, you get to share it with others too.
Yeah.
So be the ripple.
Yes. I love it. I know. I was on my bike the other day and I saw the little lake ripple or something. I'm like, yep. And I just had posted something on social media. It's just the little things, right? It leaves a ripple. It's your love. Never underestimate it, because it is great. So just allow yourself to be you. Follow your intuition. You're connected to this universe of just pure unconditional love supporting you, living your dreams. So we are here for you. For anybody that wants to join Intuitive You next Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific, you can join us here. And also, I want to make sure that you have the website lifeforceconnection.com to download your free gift there. And then the other thing, I really believe, connection is really where it's at. So I just know that I can offer Alyssa to do an intro session for you, or myself. If you're feeling called, you can send us an email. I'm going to ask her to announce her email. If you just want to get to know us and, really hear how we can really see you in a way that maybe you don't see yourself, and help you connect to your intuition even deeper and really live more of your dreams. So Alyssa, would you mind just sharing your email with everybody if they'd like to do that?
Sure. My email is hello@alyssawilliamson.com. So email me. And then I do have on my website as well, you can schedule a free clarity call, because really that's what we do. That's what I'm doing. I'm creating clarity in your life that you can move forward.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. I love it. And you're welcome to email me at abby@lifeforceconnection.com. So have a beautiful day, everybody. Enjoy it, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.